Welcome to the AllMetSports.com High School Basketball Game of the Week. Tonight we've got a doubleheader for you. The Virginia High School League Northern Region Basketball Championships. The ladies will lead things off here first. The Oakton Cougars and the West Springfield Spartans. And then we'll be followed up with the Westfield Bulldogs and the Edison Eagles for the boys championship. Matt Fetters along with Jeremy Huber. And Jeremy, when you looked at the girls bracket, if you started all the way back at the beginning of the season, this is pretty much the final you would have predicted.
Yeah, these two teams have met in the playoffs the last 2 years. They are two powerhouses in the Northern Region. And I think, Matt, with a little bit, when you talk about the fact that both teams have qualified for states, it takes that edge off of it's not the win or go home, so they can kind of play free and easy and maybe get after it and see a really good game of basketball tonight.
Also, though, tonight, these Oakton Cougars bringing an undefeated season on the line here. Nobody's beat them. A couple teams have come close, but a perfect season on the line here tonight for the Cougars.
And the Cougars play such great basketball under Coach Fred Priester. Has been around forever. And really, you talk about it, they've got the Coyer twins. It's where it all starts with Caroline and Catherine, both top-notch players, both verbals to Villanova. Very good players and a really good cast around them. And not just offense, but defense. This team plays that very well, and really a help when you talk about why they've been so effective. They can play that D.
Coyer twins, a great story, as you mentioned, both going to the same school. And when it came time to be recruited, they kind of said, hey, we're a package deal. You get one, you get the other.
And obviously, they do everything together, and, they play so well, and they kind of have that little bit of twin ESP on the court. But also, it was kind of funny, in the Caroline was the player of the year in the Concord District. In the tournament, it was Catherine who became the player of the year by having a good tournament. So either one of them can really come on and be the big-time player when they need to be.
All right, we'll be joined throughout this broadcast by a couple of our sideline reporters. Daniel Zimmett and Brian Hoffman will be joining us. And we're going to kick things off tonight. We're going to kick it over to Daniel Zimmett, and he'll tell us what he's learned before this one tips off. And let's go over to Daniel.
I got an opportunity to talk to Coach Gibson of West Springfield before the game. He was really talking about how the atmosphere shouldn't play a lot in the atmosphere here for the players tonight. He was talking about Amy Berglund as, quote, as cool as they get on the court. He was also saying that Oakton is a really physical team, so he's going to need his girls to play body-to-body defense tonight to be able to pull it back out. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Daniel. And we're going to check in with Brian here in just a second. Starting lineups coming up along with the national anthem. We'll bring it all to you. Thanks for joining us here at AllMetSports.com, the Washington, D.C. area's new home to live high school sports action. Thanks for finding us. Check back throughout the spring. We'll be bringing you lots of lacrosse action. And now let's head over to Brian Hoffman.
Thanks, guys. Great venue here at Robinson High School, but one thing you'll notice throughout the night watching these four teams is this untraditional rubber court. We're used to wood, obviously. All these teams, they say they have their complaints, but there really is not much they can do about it. We'll see if it's a factor. Back to you.
Thanks, Brian. Jeremy, the question, how rubberized is it? Did you see how fast Brian bounced back up? That's how rubberized it is.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where if you're not from here, it's almost the legend of the rubber court at Robinson. When you first see it, it's a little bit jarring, but again, you kind of get used to it as you play. You really have to if you're going to play your best.
Right. We are getting ready for our national anthem. The color guard is lined up at the far end of the court, as are the players. Again, coming into this one, Oakton Cougars 27-0, 10-0 in their Concord schedule. West Springfield Spartans 26-2 overall in the season, a perfect 14-0 through their Patriot District schedule. They were the Patriot District tourney champs, beating T.C. Williams 78-63 to finish that tournament. And for the Oakton Cougars, they are their tourney champs 43-22 over Chantilly. Hey, don't forget AllMetSports.com for all your high school sports stories, game coverage, videos, photo galleries, and recruiting news. Go to AllMetSports.com, a product of the Washington Post. AllMetSports.com, every school, every sport, all the time. Here comes the Chantilly Academy Air Force ROTC Honor Guard to present the colors, and we pause now for our national anthem.
Until the color guard has exited the court. Gentlemen, please remember to remove your hats. Thank you.
Color guard, up.
And now to sing the anthem, Rachel Van Meter.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we live at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars do the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets tinkling, the bombs bursting in them, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Great job of the national anthem. It's one of the beauties of high school sports here in Northern Virginia. Everybody gets involved with singing the national anthem. The color guard's not just the athletes out on the court. Well, as we said, Jeremy, this is going to be a good one.
And one of those things you mentioned, Matt, about the records, which I found really to be interesting with West Springfield coming in with just 2 losses. Both those losses coming at a tournament down in Florida. So in essence, against local competition, they're undefeated as well. So if you go into it, there's a lot of games. One of these 2 teams is going to catch their first loss against a local team tonight. And when you think to go this long into a season, no matter how good you are, to not lose at all against teams in your immediate, really DC metro area, and that's pretty impressive.
Absolutely. As you see the starting lineup, the Oakton Cougars being introduced. It'll be Caroline Coyer, Catherine Coyer, Carly Cronin, Elizabeth Manor, and Angela Sickles, the starting 5 for the Oakton Cougars.
And we talked about the Coyers. Of course, we mentioned Caroline was the player of the year in the Concord district. Catherine was the tournament player of the tournament in the Concord. So a lot of honors when it comes to postseason for those 2.
In the category of you're only as good as your last game, Oakton Cougars defeating Mount Vernon 59-35 to get to this championship game. It was Caroline Coyer with 20, Catherine with 19 leading the scores for the Oakton Cougars. Starting lineup now being introduced for the West Springfield Spartans. It'll be Lindsay Mayers, Logan Battle, Jordan Miller, Amy Berglund, and April Robinson.
And you talk about some of those starting lineup for West Springfield. Logan Battle signed with Georgetown already. April Robinson headed to Duquesne, and also Jordan Miller getting some offers as well. We're at that D2 level, so they have some star power on their side of the court as well.
Spartans defeated the Madison Warhawks 62-46 in the semifinal game to get to this championship game. It was Logan Battle with 13, Berglund with 13, Robinson with 12 to lead the Spartans to this championship game. Sit back, relax, whether you're watching on your laptop, your phone, your pad. You're going to enjoy a great game here tonight. Opening tip controlled by the Spartans. Come out fire, 2-ball, down and good by Jordan Miller, opens the scoring for the Spartans.
And Spartans looking to go quick. Coach Gibson said they'd like to push the pace. That might be important to get the ball down there before Oakton's offense gets set up.
Coyer comes right back with the 3-ball, misses, and the Cougars will maintain possession. Caroline over to her sister Catherine, back and forth they go.
Interesting, I don't think I've ever heard a crowd boo another player at a high school basketball game. Usually reserve that for college or pros, maybe LeBron James when he goes back to Cleveland.
Well, welcome to Northern Virginia. All the student bodies love to think they're in college. so they'll let the opponents have it. This is from just inside the 3-ball arc. Put back up and good for Catherine Coyer.
And that's big there. Catherine at 5'11", really plays guard, but obviously has enough height to get it on the boards and get some of those rebounds.
We're tied at 2 with 6:49 to play in our opening period. Taken away by Cronin. Spartans try to get it inside. Tough shot, up doesn't go. Battle down strong with the rebound for the Spartans.
Like to see it knock those down. We saw Elizabeth Manor had a few problems with some of the low post shots in the Concord District Championship game.
A little push in the back there. I think they're going to get Sickles for that foul.
And it's going to be interesting to see whose pace wins this one. Again, West Springfield likes to push it. You'd have to think they want to get down and get chances to shoot before Oakton can get in their half-court sets on the defensive end, something they think they're very good at and like to cause turnovers out of it.
3, not that time. Battle couldn't quite get it in. Here come the Cougars. Cronin all the way up, another tough shot. 6 minutes to go in the first, still tied at 2. This is a 3-ball, no.
Some quick shots for West Springfield, really trying to get it up in the air before Oakton gets back on defense. And you have to wonder if that's what Coach Gibson wants, to go ahead, just keep the pace. Hey, first open shot, we're taking it.
Coyer picks up the loose ball, then loses the handle. Gets it back to Catherine Coyer. She'll set it up. 5:30 to play in the first. Fouled en route, and Coyer will go to the line, shoot the pair.
That'll go on Jordan Miller, her first, and one of those interesting calls always where you see that referee seems to be trailing the play, will call the foul. Usually that'll draw the ire of the coach.
Coyer with 3, looking for 4. Got them both, puts her Cougars back up by 2. 4-2 with 5:27 to play in the first period.
And now West Springfield will come up. We'll see how they go in the half-court set, having to really walk the ball up the court this time after the made foul shot.
Just a 2-point shot, doesn't go down. Berglund with the shot from the top of the key, can't get the shooter's bounce.
We'll talk about Bill Gibson. He's got plenty of experience, over 600 wins, been around at West Springfield for around 27 years, and actually coached some boys basketball before that at Ireton.
Thrown into Coyer. Coyer sees an opening. Battle up with it. Inside 5 minutes to go in the first. 2-pointer drained. Berglund. Tied at 4 with 4:44 to play in the first.
Last time out, Berglund had a nice game with 13 points against Madison in the semifinals.
Kick out for 3, just off the mark. Here come the Spartans. April Robinson fouled on the way. Cronin was there to keep her from going up for the layup.
And give Cronin credit. She had incredible closing speed to catch up on the play, but again, a good position for Robinson. That nice little leak out outlet pass and able to get the foul situation.
April to the line to shoot a pair. April shooting into the face of the Oakton students, doesn't bother her one bit. Drains them both, makes it a 6-4 lead for the Spartans.
And there's reasons why she's going to Duquesne. That's one of them, because she has pressure under fire.
Back over to Cronin. Cougars looking for a little opening down low. Nothing opening up against this Spartan defense. 4 minutes to play in the first.
Oakton's had some trouble shooting the last couple weeks. We'll see if they can remedy that tonight.
Coyer with a nice turnaround.
And obviously, Matt, if you can get a shot 2 feet away from the basket, it makes your shooting percentage go up just a little bit.
Catherine Coyer with all 6 points of the Oakton Cougars, and they're tied at 6. 3:43 to go in the first. the handle. Up come the Cougars. Three ball, clangs around and out. Battle down with the rebound.
That was something Bill Gibson really had talked about before the game. He said Oakton hasn't shot well. With our luck, they'll get on a hot streak tonight, but something Oakton really playing these bigger gyms have struggled going ahead and getting shots to go down.
There's a three ball off the back of the iron. Now Maris tries to get it, kicks it back out. That one goes down. Amy Berglund, give her 4, making an 8-6 lead for West Springfield. 2:46 to go in the first.
Berglund only a sophomore, but averaging almost actually 11.5 points per game, so can get it done. She'll have 2 more good years after this one.
Boyer facing the tough defense from Berglund. Off the front of the iron from Cronin. Battle underneath. Failed basketball. I think it'll go the way of the Cougars.
Interesting. Didn't look like they had really gotten control both sides on that. I thought they might actually be calling timeout the way it looked, but obviously the referees saw differently.
Dave McAndrew, Steve Weems, and Harold Speed, our officiating crew here tonight. Missed. Battle again. Nope. Berglund up with it. Here come the Spartans.
You have to like the fact that Battle can really play point forward for you. She goes 5'11", but obviously seeing her take the ball off the court like that, you see she has handles, can get it up, really start the break on her own if she wants to.
Battle, one of the senior captains for these Spartans, can't get it to fall. Coyer now. Battle will be charged with the block.
Bill Gibson looking for a travel there, but that's one you really don't want to see Logan Battle give up on Coyer. Obviously, you got to guard her closely, but have to have court stripe, kind of a silly foul.
.136 to go here in the first period. A 2-point lead for the West Springfield Spartans. There's an opening underneath. Up and in, Carly Cronin with the bucket. Let's check in now with Daniel Zimmett.
Oakton is really settling for a lot of outside shots here early in the game. Coach Priester is really emphasizing ball moving, keep swinging it around to the outsides and trying to get the ball inside for some nice easy layups. Let's see if they can work the ball inside and get some easy ones. Back to you guys.
Tough going to get in down deep against this Spartan defense. There's one from outside, just a 2-pointer. Splashes down for Sickles. Now a 10-8 lead for the Oakton Cougars. Inside a minute to play in the first. That brings the Spartan students to life. Backcourt violation, and it'll be Oakton basketball.
Daniel talked about it, really the half court, in the game, both teams kind of settling for the outside jumpers. We saw the last couple of possessions, though, Oakton able to really run some give and goes and get better looks inside.
Don't forget, if you want a copy of this one, go to synthesis.com for your copy of DVD. This is going to be a great one you're going to want to have on your shelf. And up and in with the bucket. Catherine Coyer with another 2.
And again, really credit Oakton for finally kind of settling down and finding some inside buckets that will knock them down, take this 4-point lead.
Coyer with 8 here in the first period. Now a 4-point lead for Oakton, 10 seconds to play in the first. Spartans waiting for maybe the final shot of the first quarter. Looking down, Mares gets it up, and that can't go, and out of bounds. 1.8 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
West Springfield in a bit of a disadvantage there on the far side from Coach Gibson. See what they come up with.
Get it up high. Miller gets it off before the buzzer doesn't fall. So the first quarter is in the books, and it's a 12-8 lead for the Oakton Cougars. Pretty much what you expected?
I think so. I think maybe both teams a little nervous in the early going because of the fact that obviously stakes in this game. And I think that kind of reflected in what Daniel said, that both teams going ahead and really taking the early shots instead of kind of getting and waiting and having a little more patience out there and able to go ahead and get it lower. We saw tail end of that first period that we saw the Couriers really get the ball inside and score that way, get the easier buckets, and one of the reasons they had the 4-point lead.
Thanks for joining us, Matt Fetters, along with Jeremy Humer. Doubleheader action here for you tonight, allmetsports.com. Got the girls' championship game of the Virginia High School League Northern Region, and then we'll have the boys coming up about 8 o'clock-ish right after the conclusion of this one. Stick around. It's going to be a great night of basketball here.
Most definitely, when you really look at it in that boys game, you've got two traditional powerhouses here, not as much in the boys matchup. Westfield really having a great season, kind of not actually coming out of nowhere, but better than what they've seen. And you look the same thing with Edison, really known for their girls basketball program and their football program, but the guys basketball team with a very good year, and those two teams moving on and will play for a Northern Region title later on tonight.
And as we mentioned, the beauty also is if you get to this game, you have qualified to move on into the Virginia State tournament as well. So even if you lose here tonight, your season's not over.
But you don't want to. You want that big trophy at the end of the night.
Battle up top now for the West Springfield Spartans, trying to get things going here to start the second. That one knocked away. It'll still be West Springfield basketball.
And good job there by Manor to go ahead and deny the entry pass into the post. That's one of the things you usually see high school players have trouble with, good entry passes, and obviously good defense can really stop that.
Emily Esau checks in for the Spartans. First substitution of the ballgame for either team. Cronin, nice dish off to Coyer. Caroline Coyer gets on the scoreboard. 14-8 now, Oakton with 7:26 to go in the first half.
That time down, just credit Coyer with the hustle, beat everyone from West Springfield back, got himself an easy shot.
Spartans want a foul underneath. Just going to be a ball out of bounds.
Yeah, they don't get the foul and they don't get the ball, as someone must have touched it after the block shot by Oakton.
Caroline Coyer works it up, facing April Robinson. Cronin now goes baseline. Nice dish off to Manor. Throws it up. No. Battle down strong.
Still some good interior passing by Oakton on that trip and really last couple of possessions. Got to credit that. That's tough to do, pass with that many people inside.
Mayer's looking for some help. Oakton player down. Still scrambling. Mayer's from the seat of her pants. Can't get the shot to fall.
That was a highlight reel shot if she could knock it in.
Coyer now all the way. Kick out. Just no, it's a 3-ball. Tori Marquis with 3. Tori in the ball game, making her presence felt. 17-8. Oakton with 6:17 to play in the first half. Another Spartan turnover. Cougars right back. All right, let's quickly check in with Brian Hoffman.
Over on the Springfield bench, the entire coaching staff was patient at the end of that first quarter, but with the mounting turnovers here in the second, you have to wonder how long that will last, and they were not very happy with the officiating. Back to you guys.
Spartans have been hanging in there pretty tough. Oakton got to that 4-point lead to end the first period. Now out to a 9-point lead inside 6 minutes to play in the first half.
Getting a little bit hectic and scrappy right now. Both teams with a lot of turnovers the last couple of possessions.
These Oakton Cougars showing you why they have the perfect 27-0 record going into this ball game.
Personal foul, Carly Cronin, her second, team third.
Cronin charged with the foul. That's her second. Berglund to the line to shoot a pair.
Coach Priester going to have to get Cronin out of the game here, and he's bringing the sub in, obviously with 2 fouls, probably sit her the rest of the half.
Berglund drops the first free throw. Give her 5 points in the ball game tonight.
Now a bit bigger lineup in the game for Oakton. We'll see if West Springfield can take advantage with their foot speed.
Got them both. Berglund with 6. Pulls the Spartans back within 7 with 5:33 to go in the first half. Oakton Cougars not only facing the Spartan defense, but the Spartan student body down at this end. And she goes for a walk to Elizabeth Manor and turns it over.
And Manor with a good job to get that offensive rebound, just took the other step, and you'd like to see maybe just go right back up with that one instead of trying to make the move to get it out.
Robinson now walks it up for the Spartans, trailing by 7. Robinson versus Coyer. Robinson quickly down to Berglund. Robinson for 3. There's battling underneath. It'll be Cougar basketball with 4:51 to go in the first half, up by 7.
And you have to wonder as a bunch of players tumble to the ground. We talked about the floor here at Robinson, not wood. Or the floor burns worse on the wood floor on this surface.
I think you wouldn't slide as much on this rubber floor as you would on the wood floor. Sickles to Coyer. Coyer looking for an opening. Taken away by the Spartans.
Nice denial there by Mayers.
Couple stops in a row for West Springfield. Battle for 3. I think she thought about it just a little bit too long.
And I tell you what, if you're Coach Gibson, you might want to see Battle go ahead and try to take Manor to the bucket. We've seen the fact she has good handles, probably has a little bit better foot speed as Manor's more of a post player. Go ahead and take your shot, maybe go ahead and get a layup.
Coyer dribbles it off the foot of Amy Berglund. It will still be Oakton basketball. Just inside 4 minutes to go in the first half. Up by 7 are the Oakton Cougars.
And that's the thing, you look at matchups. Do you have a matchup that's more favorable in your way? You got to try and take advantage of it. I think right now West Springfield may in foot speed.
Again, the Cougars turn it over.
Call that 5-second call. Now Caroline Coyer counseling Elizabeth Manor. I think she was looking either for a screen or maybe to flash to the ball and get rid of it and avoid that 5-second call.
April Robinson quickly over to Esau. Berglund, way short. Battle underneath, 3-on-1. Got to reach in, Battle does, takes it away, the bang in the bucket.
And that's the type of play that will get your team and your crowd fired up, as really the situation, Sickles got caught with no help, tried to get loose on it. 3 West Springfield players surrounded her and just took the ball away and scored the bucket. And Fred Priester giving the officials what for right now in front of his bench.
Battle with the bang in the bucket goes to the line to shoot one, trying to complete the 3-point play. Fuller Spartans within 4, clangs it off the iron.
Oakton almost had a chance for a layup there as they beat West Springfield down the court, but a good job of one of the players to stay in the middle lane and not give up a layup opportunity.
Battle backs up Coyer. She'll kick it over to Marquis. 3 minutes remaining in the first half. 5-point lead for the Oakton Cougars. Last 3 trips down the floor, Oakton unable to score. And right on cue, Angela Sickles buries a 2-pointer.
You gotta like that. Sickles has good height at 5'9", but also a nice mid-range jumper, and she's getting open looks really every time down.
Esau all the way up, can't get the layup. Inside 2:30 to play here in the first half. Marquis looking for an opening. Now Coyer. Catherine Coyer sees an opening on this side, but Battle is there to shut the door. Nice opening underneath. Manor had the opening, but quickly back was April Robinson.
Didn't call a foul though, and it looked almost was close to being a clean play there. But again, a good job by Oakton really cycling through that offense, eventually getting the open look for Manor.
April Robinson's first foul. Manor buries the first.
And Matt, I think that's always an important thing at the high school level. Since there is no shot clock in Virginia, especially against good teams, can you be patient until that open shot comes? You're going to make more than you miss if you can do that.
Manor's got them both to give her 2 points tonight. 2 minutes to go in the first half. 21-12, Oakton on top. Again, Battle taking her time outside that three-point arc. She goes to Battle. Nice putback, doesn't go. Amy Berglund with the putback couldn't convert. It'll still be Spartan basketball.
I think that's a good play though by West Springfield. Go ahead and take advantage of Battle's skill set against a bigger opponent.
Miller stops, pops, got it. Jordan Miller with 4 points. 21-14, Oakton. A minute and a half to play in the first half. Cronin got it. Carly Cronin with 4.
And Cronin back in the game with 2 fouls. If you're West Springfield, you may want to go after and see, make her man guard somebody.
3 ball buried by Jordan Miller. Miller with 7.
Big shot there, especially the deficit they were facing. Got to knock those down.
Just inside 1 minute to play in the first half. 23-17, Oakton. Boyer all the way in. Doesn't get it, but is fouled en route. She'll go to the line and shoot a pair. I believe April Robinson is going to pick up the foul.
That's going to be 2, I believe, on Robinson. I was going to say it's just her first.
Nope, I think they gave it to Mares. Maryland misses the front end, gets the back end. Caroline Coyer with 3 points here in the first half.
Interesting with Oakton kind of sagging off on some of those outside players, picking them up once they come in the paint.
Battle all the way in, and she picks up the foul. Freddie Priester not happy with that one.
A great strategy there by Bill Gibson. Again, we talked about it. You've got the Battle, who's got great handles, great foot speed against Manor, more of a low post player. Just the matchups, try and take advantage of it.
Logan Battle, a 5'11 senior, to the free throw line to shoot a pair. She's 0 for 2 from the free throw line tonight.
That's big. You got to hit your free throws against Oakton. They don't give up a lot of easy buckets, so when you get a chance to score easily, you got to knock them down.
There she gets the back in. 3 points in the ball game for Logan Battle. 24-18 Oakton. 21 seconds to play in the first half. Again, going for a walk as Angela Sickles turns it over to the Spartans. Spartans now with 12.7 seconds to work with here in the first half, trailing by 6. Off the rim for Berglund. Here come the Cougars, got to get it away. That one won't go, so the first half is in the books, and it's a 24-18 lead for the Oakton Cougars at halftime.
And again, really a well-played first half here by both teams, though obviously Oakton playing a little bit better as they've been able to go ahead and really get the pace of play going their way.
A consistent first half for the Oakton Cougars, 12 points in that first quarter. 12 points in the second quarter. All right, let's go over to Daniel Zimmett. He's got Freddie Priester.
I'm standing here with Coach Priester of Oakton High School. Coach, can you talk about the pace of the game in the first half? Was it what you like to see?
Well, there's both teams are very, very excited getting up and down the court. That results in a little bit of sloppiness on both sides, but I think both teams are really competing hard for every shot and every ball, and so I think that bodes well for a good second half and good for the fans.
What do you guys need to do to make sure you keep this lead up and win this game?
Well, it seems pretty obvious to say we got to hit shots and get stops. How's that?
That's good. Good luck in the second half, Coach. Back to you.
Thanks, Daniel. Thanks, Fred Priester, for taking time out there as he heads for the locker room at halftime here. His Cougars up 24-18 over the West Springfield Spartans. Let's take a look at that scoring in the first half for those Oakton Cougars. It's Catherine Coyer leading all scorers with 8. Caroline with 3. Caroline Coyer, that is, with 3. Tori Marquis with 3. Carly Cronin with 4. Elizabeth Manor with a pair. And Angela Sickles with 4. For the West Springfield Spartans, Logan Battle with 3. Jordan Miller is leading the Spartans with 7. Amy Berglund with 6. And April Robinson with 2.
And as Coach talked about it, really that sloppiness in early on in the matchup. But as the game kind of settled down, you started to see both teams kind of get what they were looking to get. On one side, you saw a lot of Oakton really kind of running that almost weave out in front with the guards moving around and making West Springfield move, usually opening up driving lanes for one of their guards. On the other side of things, West Springfield didn't get in sync as early. We did start to see a little bit of Logan Battle trying to take advantage of her matchups, as well as getting some outside open shots against that tough Oakton defense and knocking a few of them down.
Don't forget, if you want a copy of this ballgame on DVD, you can find it at synthesismp.com. This is a game you're going to want to have on your shelf. Dance team performing at halftime here. 24-18 is the score. Oakton Cougars on top of the West Springfield Spartans. 2.5 minutes on the scoreboard clock until we start second half action here of the Virginia High School League Northern Region Championship game between the Oakton Cougars and the West Springfield Spartans. Matt Fetters along with Jeremy Huber. Oakton undefeated, 27-0 on the season, a perfect 10-0 in the Concord District. Now let's check in with Brian Hoffman.
Thanks, guys. As you can hear throughout this broadcast, both schools well represented through the student body. Behind me, West Springfield. On the far side of the gym, you have Oakton. Both student bodies very, very loud, chanting, taunting, and back to you guys. We'll have to see how the second half goes.
Thanks, Brian. Not only are the students here as well, I think it was the Oakton dance squad performed at halftime here, put on a great show as always. Oakton, just one of the better dance teams here in Northern Virginia.
Yeah, the costumes were interesting. They were very, very interesting. It looked like a combination, maybe the Mad Max and some catcher's equipment. I don't know what was going on there, but they did a great job, so give them credit for that.
I was going to go,
maybe a little Thriller thrown in too, I think.
Or a little Ninja Turtles too, for the old school folks out there. Looked good though, as have the Oakton Cougar basketball team looked good with the 6-point lead here at halftime. Catherine Coyer leading all scorers with 8 points, all 8 coming in that first period.
And the interesting thing, I think, in the second half will be, again, who can kind of really impose their will on the two teams on each other. Again, we saw Oakton really able to go ahead and get the West Springfield offense kind of off kilter a little bit with some of their movement up front and eventually getting open looks underneath the basket. Again, I think a real big key for West Springfield is going to be going ahead with Logan Battle, their star, headed to Georgetown. And there are some mismatches just size-wise and speed-wise. I think maybe you'll see, and it's tough always to go ahead and maybe change the flow on your offense, what you do, but maybe see some clear out, see some giving her kind of one side of the floor so she can work off the dribble. We've seen her dribbling skills are really better than most players you would see at the 5'11" that she is. Go ahead and see if you take advantage of that, at least get her to the foul line, maybe get some easy buckets.
Both teams still having a lot of trouble getting the ball down inside in that first half.
And Oakton a little more patient at it. That's why they have the 6-point lead they do.
So a fresh 8 minutes on the clock as we get ready to start second half action. Winner takes home the Northern Region Championship crown. And the Cougars will start the second half with the basketball. Quickly foul, Catherine Coyer will go to the line.
And that's a really crafty move by Catherine Coyer. It wasn't a really good shooting position for her, but she knew, hey, I'm here near the basket. I've got some contact. I got to throw it at the bucket. I'm going to get a 2-shot foul here, and she does.
Amy Berglund charged with the foul. Catherine was 2 of 2 from the free throw line in the first half, misses that first attempt.
And I believe last time out she was a perfect 8 for 8 in their semifinal win.
And she buries the back end, give her 9 points on the night. Yep, you're right, she was 8 for 8 with a total of 19 points in that semifinal game.
I do remember things every once in a while.
Spartans now, let's see how patient they can be against this tough Oakton defense. As you said, Jeremy, no shot clock in Virginia high school basketball, so no reason to hurry. Nice turnaround, up and in.
And again, it's just sometimes you want to go ahead and get that ball up quickly. Instead, it really isn't exactly your shot. You got to go ahead and wait until that open shot comes open.
Now just a 5-point lead. Sickles against Battle. They kick it up around top. Caroline Coyer will take charge. Manor to Coyer. Stops, pops, got it! Catherine Coyer with 11. Back to a 7-point lead for Oakton. 6:34 to play in the third.
Really just left Coyer wide open, and she able to go ahead and knock it down.
Opening baseline, thrown up, doesn't go down for Berglund. First real opening we saw all night tonight along the baseline down there.
Yeah, nice move, just couldn't get it all the way over, get that extra roll on that reverse layup attempt.
Coyer now against Battle. Back up top, this is a 2-ball. Can't get the bounce. That'll be Spartan basketball.
Actually going to say it's Oakton basketball.
Oh, you're right.
The referee waited for a while. I guess he got some help from one of the other officials.
So the Cougars maintain possession. And they get it quickly up top to Sickles. Cronin now over to Coyer. Caroline will set it up for the Cougars. Inside 6 minutes to go in the third. Up by 7 for Oakton.
Nice little give and go move there. Couldn't go ahead and complete it, but the ball knocked out of bounds by West Springfield. Oakton will keep possession, but again, the Coyer twins work so well together, as you'd expect. Sisters and the girls said, it's not the fact we're twins, it's the fact we play together forever that we know what each other's going to do.
There's a three-pointer, doesn't fall down for Caroline Coyer. Here come the Spartans battle, and battle will be fouled by Caroline Coyer.
Interesting foul there where she goes ahead and gives it up away from the bucket. Probably a smart one when you think about the fact that if she had waited to see if she could cut her off, then you may end up having a three-point opportunity instead of a side out of bounds.
Miller trying to work it down, gets it down to Berglund. Looking for an opening, turns it over. Here come the Cougars. Coyer all the way, coast to coast. That one will go out of bounds, still Oakton basketball.
And I think that one a good call. Should have been a play on. The West Springfield players weren't set, and Coyer a little bit out of control, but no real advantage gained, and ball stays with the Cougars.
Coyer to Coyer, down to Manor, the bang in the bucket.
Excellent play there as Manor had really good position and a shorter Robinson was guarding her. Elizabeth has a good 5-inch height advantage on her. Give her the ball in the post, see what she can do with it.
April Robinson charged with the foul, and she misses the first free throw. Don't forget, if you want a copy of this one, go to synthesismp.com. 5 minutes to play in the third. Back to a 9-point lead for the Oakton Cougars.
Right now, you're West Springfield. You got to cut into this lead. You don't want to go into the fourth quarter down by 9 or 10. Let's Oakton really be able to kind of slice that clock.
Battle, nice job to get it into Lindsay Mayers, and she can't convert.
It's a tough one when you work the ball down that low and get a good shot. You got to knock them down. You don't get that many easy looks against Oakton.
4:34 to play in the third. 29-20 Oakton. 3-ball, yes sir, Caroline Coyer. Caroline with 6 now for the Cougars.
Right now the Spartans are in some trouble as they're trailing by 12 against a very good Oakton team.
Biggest lead of the ball game, 32-20 with 4:10 to play in the third. Battle facing some pressure, gets it up top. And Bill Gibson wants a timeout. Stops the clock with 4:04 to play in the third. Don't forget you can get a DVD of this ball game at synthesismp.com. Don't forget, this is a doubleheader night. Westfield and Edison, the boys teams, will face off for the Northern Region Championship right after the conclusion of this one.
And a little star power in that one as well, with Zach Elcano headed to American likely for Westfield. Obviously Edison, very athletic team as well, so should be interesting to see how that one goes down, but both teams love to put that trophy in the trophy case. Obviously that's the same thing here. These two teams last year faced off. West Springfield ending Oakton's season in the Northern Region semifinals the year before. They met in the finals of the Northern Region. That one was won by Oakton.
Spartans will have possession here with 4 minutes to play in the third, trailing by 12. Berglund to Battle. Battle against 2, up off the glass, got it!
I think, Matt, we got to see some more of that if West Springfield's going to get into the game. Go ahead, let her have the ball out top and let her use the dribble, either create or score.
Battle with 5. Now just a 10-point lead for Oakton. 3.5 minutes to go here in the third. Coyer looking for some space, kicks it back up top to Cronin, got it for 2. Cronin with 6, and let's check in
Thanks,
with Brian
guys.
Hoffman.
Coach Gibson all over his players in that last Springfield timeout. Very, very animated, and he continues to ride the officials very hard over on the sidelines. Back to you.
Battle does a great job to get the ball down low to Lindsay Mayer. She couldn't hold on. It'll be Oakton basketball. 3:05 to go here in the third. A 12-point lead for Oakton, their biggest lead of the night. Cougars into Coyer, and she's fouled on the way.
That's what really makes Catherine a tough matchup as well. That just a 1-inch height difference between her sister Caroline, but Catherine has a little bit of a post game as well, especially when you see a smaller guard trying to get her, check her in the post, and kind of go to something like that and create a situation where she goes to the line.
That was April Robinson charged with the foul. That's her third. Catherine trying to convert both, and she does just that. Coyer with 13 points, leading all scorers here in this contest. Puts her Cougars up by 14, their biggest margin tonight. Right from the elbow, doesn't get the bounce. Nice ball movement there by the Spartans. They got it to the open shooter. Lindsay Mayers checks out for the Spartans. Emily Esau checks in.
And I think the referee might have missed that call. It looked like to me that the ball, even though the force originally went from West Springfield player, I think Carly Cronin, the ball rolled off her shoulder out of bounds, but the referee gives it to the Cougars.
Inside, 2:30 to play in the third. 36-22 Oakton. Coyer kicks it out. Baseline up, got it! Elizabeth Manor. Manor with 6 tonight.
There'll be a foul, I believe, on Caroline Coyer.
Caroline Coyer, her second, team second.
Caroline's second foul. To the line goes April Robinson.
Fred Priester saying maybe that was on the pass.
Robinson now trying to convert her back in. Let's check in with Daniel Zimmett.
Coach Priester has been very happy with the way that his offense has been playing here in this second half. What he's really focusing on now is defense. He wants them to play just as physical as West Springfield's been playing. They came out strong. Now Oakton's got to step up and play just as strong as they are on the defensive end. Back to you.
Thanks, Daniel. April Robinson, perfect from the free throw line tonight. 4 of 4. That shot way off the mark by Caroline Coyer. She's going to hear it from the Spartan student body as they come back down to this end of the court.
But she also heard it from Coach Fred Priester, who didn't like that shot selection at all with a 14-point lead. That's not one you want to take, especially when you're kind of halfway up and say, I can't make this, just kind of dish it off.
The bang in the bucket that falls for Jordan Miller. And I think when you got to pick who you're going to hear it from, Coach Priester or the other team students.
Yeah. And now Coach Priester is still explaining his point to Caroline Coyer. And you mentioned Jordan Miller, obviously at the foul line with that three-point play. We're told by Coach Gibson she has a +4 GPA, so not just an athlete, a scholar as well.
Don't forget allmetsports.com for all your high school sports stories, game coverage, videos, photo galleries, and recruiting news. Visit us at allmetsports.com, a product of the Washington Post. allmetsports.com, every school, every sport, all the time. 38-27, Oakton Cougars with a minute and a half to play in the third. Coyer, baseline, got the floater. Miller can't nail the jumper. The Coyer twins will gather up that rebound and walk it up.
I tell you what, Caroline gets a lot of the publicity, but Catherine just as good and has a really varied skill set when it comes to stuff she can do in the post, outside, also rebound well, really can do it all.
Inside a minute to go here in the third. 47 seconds to play in the third. 40-27 Oakton. Coyer, nice kick out. All the way back over. Cougars taking their time with it. Marquis now. Inside 30 seconds to play in the third.
They're looking to spread that court out. Probably they'll try to take it to the bucket with about 10 seconds left. Obviously want the last shot of the quarter.
And right there is 10 seconds. Sure enough, Coyer makes the dash in, up and off. Can't get the bucket to fall, but will go to the line.
And that's the tough part right now of high school basketball without a shot clock is really you have to defend the whole time, and they can wait until that open shot comes. You can't wait till 35 seconds to go off the clock. It doesn't work that way.
Logan Battle charged with the foul, her second. Elizabeth Manor to the free throw line. Elizabeth with 6 points tonight. Jasmine Zeller checks in for the Oakton Cougars, giving Caroline Coyer a break. Manor can't get either one. And Spartans come up with it. Gotta hurry. They got it off before the buzzer, but to no avail. 40-27 Oakton Cougars, we've played three.
And I think that was a big end of the possession there for Oakton. Really, instead of letting West Springfield get the clean rebound and maybe dribble it up and get a decent look at the end of the quarter, get some momentum, and maybe even cut the lead down to 10 instead, they kind of knocking that ball around. You get the half-court heave instead. You don't knock that down, and really, West Springfield in an unenviable position right now as they trail by 13 points going into the fourth quarter. I think people thought that Oakton might be the team that was really the favorite one in this game, Matt, but I don't know if they thought they would be like this, would they be down like this at this point with 13 points 13 points down going into the fourth quarter. Really going to be tough to see Oakton go ahead and get this contest back, West Springfield to get this contest back their way.
Catherine Coyer leading all scorers with 15 for the Oakton Cougars. For the West Springfield Spartans, it's Jordan Miller with 10. And really the story there of that third period was the defense of the Oakton Cougars holding the Spartans to only 9 points in that third period.
Really well, and a little bit of that, I think the pace that Oakton set, at least on the defensive end, West Springfield had to make a couple plays on the run that they couldn't make, some missed shots, some missed passes down low, it really hurt them.
All right, fresh 8 minutes on the clock, the final 8 of the 2012 Northern Region Championship game. Oakton Cougars and the West Springfield Spartans. A 40-27 lead for the Oakton Cougars in the maroon and gold here tonight. Battle backs her way in, up off the glass, the bang in the bucket.
That's a big play there as this time they go ahead, really gets a double team as Battle able to go ahead and get good position, just a nice little turnaround, knock it down. She has a chance to make it a 10-point game.
Well, you called it here at the beginning of that third period that we need to see more Logan Battle down low. She just can't convert that three-point play. Coyer throws it up. Nice rebound by Manor. Can't get it to go. Battle down strong. Here come the Spartans. Robinson to Miller. That one's going to be off the Cougars. It'll still be Spartan basketball.
And that last time down, I don't know if I like the shot selection from Coyer there. With the big lead that you have, maybe go ahead and work to get a better shot than that. The way they've kind of worked, got some better looks than really kind of throwing one up.
Robinson into Battle against three Cougars. Again, the bang in the bucket.
And desperate times call for desperate measures. Right now, it's got to be the Logan Battle show. Fred Priester can smell what's coming. I think he's going to take himself a timeout to settle things down for his Cougars.
I think it's going to be Manor charged with that last foul. It's her third. Logan Battle with 9 points in the ball game. Let's check in with Brian Hoffman.
During that last time out in between the third and the fourth quarter, Coach Gibson drew up a play or two for his best player, Logan Battle, and simply asked his team, are you going to let them push you around for the entire game? Well, based on these first couple plays of the fourth quarter, seems like they're ready for a fight. Back to you.
Nothing better when the coach issues that challenge in the huddle, gets in the face of his players, and gives them that challenge like that. Are you really going to let them do that to you?
Yeah, and when you think about it at the high school level, you can only pull that card so many times, but obviously in this situation, that's the time to pull it. And if you really think about it, again, we were mentioning it the entire game, and I was thinking more maybe off the dribble, but Logan Battle showing her versatility, really taking the ball against a bigger opponent in manner, but able to go ahead and make those nice post moves, not let her push her off the block, and able to score twice and have 3-point situations 2 times in a row.
Well, every time Battle gets that ball down low, the Cougar defense has done a great job of collapsing down top of her, but it really hasn't mattered as she's been able to convert. Now trying to finish off the 3-point play and pull her Spartans within 8 off the front of the iron.
And that's going to be something I think West Springfield looks back at, those 2 missed free throws, 2 possessions in a row. You'd love to see her knock those down. Cut this lead into a little bit more than the 9 that it is.
Coyer all the way in, and she'll be fouled by, it looks like Amy Berglund.
And I like that move by Catherine Coyer. We talked about the last time down, kind of threw one up. That time she was going towards the bucket. It was either going to be a bucket or it was going to be a foul situation because she had a good shooting position.
To the line goes Catherine Coyer with 15, make it 16. Tori Marquis back in for the Oakton Cougars. Coyer gets them both. Give her 17 points tonight.
Now a little matching up for both sides as Oakton's gone with a smaller lineup, really, as it's 4 guards and a forward for West Springfield trying to match up.
But Battle again. 3rd trip down, 3rd bucket and the foul. Let's see if she can make the free throw this time.
That time down, they changed up the defensive matchup, put Coyer on Battle, still didn't work, again goes to the line and scores.
Logan struggling from the free throw line tonight, only 1 of 5. There you go. 21 points for the senior Logan Battle. 42-34, Oakton, 6:36 to play in the ball game.
Again, if you're Oakton, you got to remember the clock is on your side. You want to take a good shot, not necessarily the first shot.
Coyer straight down the lane. She'll go to the free throw line.
Right now, the drive to the bucket kind of hurting that West Springfield defense just a little bit as Coyer's getting in there, at least creating foul situations.
Eight of 10 from the free throw line, make it 9 of 11 for Catherine Coyer. 19 points in the ball game for Catherine. Inside, 6.5 to go. Esau couldn't get it to go. Manor with the rebound. Now the Cougars will walk it up by 10. They've led by as much as 14. 6 minutes to play in the ball game. And they're going to say that Carly Cronin went for a walk.
They'll shuffle the feet. You see that a lot at the high school level. You might get away with that in the NBA, but not so much at this level.
Don't forget you can get a copy of this one on DVD at synthesismp.com. Foul before Battle got the ball up and in.
They call that one on Coyer on the hold, as with a nice play drawn up by West Springfield. Nice little back cut to the basket by Battle, trying to get her open, and it'll be the second on Catherine Coyer.
Battle shooting 1 and 1. And she gets the bonus. Logan Battle looking for her 14th point tonight. Got it. She's struggled for a while from that free throw line, but she's made her last 3 in a row.
Good to make them when they count. She's starting to knock them down now.
Back to within 8 are the Spartans. Let's see if that great stop turns into 2 points here. Berglund can't bury the jumper.
I think they're going to say that hit the shot clock. I thought they were calling it over the back foul, but the referee never gave a signal on who the foul would have been on.
Right. The result, Oakton Cougar basketball with 5:19 to play. Cronin all the way.
I think a really bad break on that play as it looked like the ball was going to go out of bounds off of Oakton, but it hit Battle, who was laying flat on her back, and went out off her.
Don't forget, this is doubleheader night. Next up, Westfield Bulldogs, Edison Eagles in the boys championship final. Throws it up, is fouled, can't get the shot to fall, Elizabeth Manor. Logan Battle picks up her 3rd personal foul. Elizabeth Manor to the line. Elizabeth with 6 points in the ballgame tonight.
And really, I don't think the 3rd foul on Battle, not that big of a deal. She's going to stay out there for the rest of the game. Foul trouble isn't going to be an issue right now.
Elizabeth 50% from the free throw line tonight, 3 of 6. Give her 7 points in the ballgame. And it'll be Oakton basketball.
Say an illegal screen called that time down on the court.
April Robinson quickly, that's her 4th personal. 5 minutes to go in this one. 45-36, Oakton Cougars over the West Springfield Spartans. Winner takes home the Northern Region Championship. Coyer all the way in. Battle swats and misses.
And a really smart play there by Coyer. She knew that Robinson had 4 fouls, knew she really couldn't check her. Got the easy look.
Coyer with 21. April Robinson answers right back. Give her 6. And timeout with 4:33 to go. 47-38 Cougars.
And again, kind of expounding on that point, that's really good basketball IQ. Anytime you know you're being guarded by someone with 4 fouls, you want to get the ball in your hands and go ahead and take it to the bucket and make that referee call that foul or make your defender back away because they don't want to foul out of the game. That's exactly what Catherine Coyer did. She saw who was guarding her and said, look, I'm taking this to the bucket. I only have 2 fouls. If I charge, hey, that's just 3 on me. If you foul me, you're out of the game. And if you just back away, I'm probably going to score. And she got the 3rd option, but it worked out well for Oakton.
As you saw, the West Springfield Spartans 26-2 overall on the season, a perfect 14-0 in the Patriot District. Oakton Cougars 27-0, 10-0 in the Concord. They were the Concord tournament champs as well, 43-22 victors over the Chantilly Chargers.
And that was an interesting victory, Matt, where it was kind of close in the first half, but really an ugly basketball game. I believe it was 15-8 in the first half of that contest. It wasn't pretty basketball, and part of that really was, from what was talked about, that Oakton had a little trouble shooting that week because of the big venue at Chantilly High School. Not a good shooting background, and it's kind of carried over a little bit, though, today. They've done a better job, not necessarily with the outside shots, but going ahead and getting some good inside looks by driving to the bucket.
4.5 minutes left in this one. Caroline Coyer walks it up for the Oakton Cougars. Into her sister, who'll kick it right back out. Just a 9-point lead now. Battle defends.
This is a big call.
Yep. And they count the basket.
Matt, I'm kind of surprised it took that long because it seemed pretty clear that Battle definitely moved underneath the Coyer as she went to the bucket.
Catherine Coyer really lighting them up here in the second half, trying to complete this three-point play. She is 4 of 4 from the free throw line here in the fourth quarter. Let's check in with Daniel Zimmett.
I got a chance to listen into Oakton's huddle in the last time out. Coach Priester was really happy with the way his girls are playing, telling them to keep it up and keep what they're doing. He said if you keep playing with this intensity for the last 4 minutes, you're going to be the 2012 regional champions. Back to you guys.
50-38 now. Answering right back comes April Robinson. Every time the Cougars want to run away and hide, the Spartans come right back with the answer. Inside 4 minutes to go in the ball game. A 10-point lead for Oakton.
Hey, Matt, a huge issue for West Springfield is going to be the fact that both Robinson and Battle have 4 fouls. Obviously, they pick one more up. They're going to be sitting on the bench next to Coach Gibson.
Sister to sister, can't get it. Nice rebound though by Manor. It'll be Spartan basketball.
Manor with a little travel there, and actually it might have been able to call her for a bit of a moving screen earlier on, kind of warding off on Battle, but they did call, but ends up going back to the Spartans anyway.
Back up to April Robinson. Looking for the screen. They're going to stick that one on Amy Berglund. No. Caroline Coyer, her third. So April Robinson to the line. April perfect 4 of 4 tonight. Make it 5.
Going to need every single one of those. You'd have to think the possessions are going to be limited down the stretch here, so you've got to knock down free throws when you have the chance.
Yeah, she cuts the lead to just 8. As you said, April playing with 4 personal fouls. 10 points in the ball game for April. 50-42, Oakton Cougars, 3:09 to play in the ball game. Nice takeaway, April Robinson. Yo, can't get it to fall.
And that is a double whammy there for West Springfield, Matt, as not only does the usual steady Robinson miss the layup, but then she commits the silly foul 94 feet from the basket, and Coach Gibson kind of sent the look over like, come on, honey, that can't be done. We cannot go ahead and give that one away. I need you out on the court.
That's April's 5th, and she'll have a seat. Lindsay Mayer is up next for the Spartans to take the place. Don't forget, Westfield, Edison, boys championship game coming up after the conclusion of this one. .254 left in the ball game. An 8-point lead for Oakton. Catherine Coyer to the free throw line.
And now, Matt, I think one of the questions with Robinson on the bench is who's going to handle the ball now for West Springfield, as Robinson's done it for most of the contest.
The last one doesn't go down.
It'll be Manor picking up the foul there, as on the rebound just banged into Battle, and Coach Priester telling her right now, hey, we can't give up the fouls 94 feet away. Go ahead, let them have the rebound. We still have this big lead.
Catherine Coyer, 11 of 14 from the free throw line tonight. Now we're back on this end. And Ms. Battle steps to the line. She struggled early from the free throw line, but it's been coming on here in the late going.
And Matt, with 9 team fouls for Oakton, West Springfield, this will be their last 1-and-1 opportunity. After this, they'll be in the double bonus as well.
And Logan Battle has hit her last 5 free throw attempts. 51-44, Oakton with 2:44 to go. And the bang in the bucket. Manor gets it to fall and she'll go to the line.
Now, what a look there by Caroline Coyer, and you have to give credit to Fred Priester and his ladies for not only just trying to run clock. If there is an open look, go ahead and take it and score the bucket, and because of that, now they have a chance for a three-point play.
Elizabeth buries the free throw. Give her 10 points in the ball game. Back to a 10-point lead for the Cougars. Battle all the way. Got it! Logan Battle, there's no quit in this gal tonight.
Coach Gibson looking for some traps. He's got to get some turnovers here.
Manor up off the glass, got it.
And I think right now with that trapping defense, they have to go ahead and bring Battle up, and that's just leaving it too easy under the basket for Manor if they can find her, and she's got a couple of easy buckets because of it.
Now inside 2 minutes to play. Kick it around. Esau can't get it to go. Just saved by Cronin. Wide open underneath, got it. Tori Marquis, give her 5 tonight. Back to a 12-point lead for the Oakton Cougars. 1:36 to play. Battle for 3, well short. Coyer up with it.
I think at this point, if we're going to see some fouls, it's going to come close to now. With just on 1:20 left to go in the contest, it looks like Bill Gibson might just let him play it out.
Coyer out to her sister for 3, got it! Catherine Coyer for 3. 61-46 Oakton.
What a phenomenal game she's having tonight. Really has been there for Oakton on the scoring end to go ahead and really the difference in the game.
Inside a minute to play. Miller to Battle. Battle spinning, firing, can't get it, rims out. But quickly right back off the Oakton player, still Spartan ball.
Coyer can't believe it. Call going against her.
That one doesn't fall. Caroline Coyer down with it. Gets some help from her sister. Catherine now brings it up. Catherine with 28 points here tonight. Inside 30 seconds to play. 61-46 Oakton Cougars. And they're just going to play a little catch now. Jordan Miller with the foul. That will send Catherine Coyer to the line.
Catherine a little angry that they went ahead and gave the foul, but I guess in a sense it's kind of a good thing because it lets her get a chance to go ahead and add 2 more points to her total.
See if she can get an even 30 points on the night. There's 29.
At this point, if she does get that 30, we go thank the West Springfield player that fouled you. Thanks for getting me that 30-point night in the Northern Region Championship.
Now here comes a wholesale line change from Fred Priester.
And this should be Coach Priester's 5th Northern Region title. So pretty impressive in his 18 years of coaching to do it this many times.
Coyer looking for 30, can't get it. So close. Ball falls for Jordan Miller. Jordan with 13, 6 seconds to play. Meredith Burrows will hold on to it. An attack there, foul called on Lindsay Mayers. So to the line goes Meredith Burrows, who's just entered the ball game. Not only do you get into the ball game here, the championship game, but you get a chance to get on the score sheet.
That's right. It's always fun.
Meredith, 5'11" senior.
And of of course, both these teams will be moving on to the state championship, so obviously get at least one more game in your high school career.
See if Meredith can get in that scoring column. She does. 63-49, Oakton Cougars are your 2012 Northern Region champions.
Really a wonderful performance by Oakton as they took on a really quality West Springfield team, were able to knock them off and hand them a defeat and keep their undefeated season alive. And really, you look at it, and Oakton really able to go ahead and just kind of impose their will throughout the game, and really credit Catherine Coyer with a phenomenal game. 29 points in the regional final. You can't do that. You can't be better than that when you talk about the quality of opponent tonight, a very good West Springfield Spartan team.
As you said, Coyer leading the Oakton Cougars, leading all scorers with 29. The rest of the Oakton scoring sheet, sister Caroline Coyer with 3, Meredith Burrows with 1, Tori Marquis with 5, Carly Cronin with 6, Elizabeth Manor with a hard-fought 12, and Angela Sickles with 4 for the Oakton Cougars.
And really, credit Catherine Coyer, or credit Caroline Coyer. Obviously, when you are a player of the year in your district and all throughout, to go ahead and have that type of a game and really to kind of let your offense go in favor of your sister and another teammate when they're having the hot hand, and that's exactly what happened here as Coyer able to go ahead and have this huge game tonight.
Oakton Cougars enjoying their championship win, and Daniel Zimmett has rounded up our winners. Let's go over to Daniel.
I'm here with the regional champions, Coach Priester and Catherine Coyer of the Oakton Cougars. Coach, can you talk about what the undefeated season means like? You continue this going into states?
Well, I mean, it's great, but being undefeated is really doesn't have anything to do with state tournament. It just has to be win the next one, win the next one, win the next one. When we came out, we were 0-0 tonight. They were 0-0 tonight. And despite what our fans said, I guess we were walking out of here at least 1-0 anyway.
Do you think fatigue had anything to play there? I don't think there was a single timeout called in the first half, and then they were running the entire second half.
Well, I mean, I think both coaches were trying to make sure that we had timeouts in the end because we knew that it was going to be close and we wanted to be able to use them strategically. But, we told our kids at the beginning, you got to be ready to play 32 tonight.
Now, can you talk about what kind of momentum this gives you going into the state tournament, having won all these games and winning this one as well?
I mean, it's definitely good to end on a positive note and end this regional tournament with a win. So I think that'll definitely give us momentum and give us some confidence going into the state tournament so we can do what we need to do to win.
How about the support from the student section? I mean, they rushed the court at the end. All of these parents, fans, students came here to show up. What does that mean to you guys?
It means so much to us. Having our friends coming out and supporting us means so much. That's the best student section we've had all year, and I mean, I can't really explain how much that means to us.
Well, congratulations to both of you, and good luck. Go enjoy this. Back to you.
Thanks, Daniel. Catherine Coyer, you saw right there, 29 points, as we said, but 14 of her 29 coming in the fourth period. And now you see the awards presentation out at center court as the West Springfield Spartans, no slouches, a great season, 26-3 overall, an undefeated Patriot District season for them, and runners-up here in the Northern Region.
And I'll tell you what, Matt, we just had the interview with the most valuable player of the tournament as Catherine Coyer gets the award, and obviously well-deserving. They talk about a performance like this, 29 points in a championship game, especially when West Springfield did a pretty good job of shutting down her sister to really come through like that. Just a phenomenal job by Catherine.
We're not done here tonight. We got boys action coming right up. Westfield Bulldogs and the Edison Eagles will play for the boys Northern Region Championship. Start time was slated for about 8 o'clock, but it'll probably be, 20 minutes or so from this one as they give out the trophies, and I'm sure they'll cut down the nets and they'll have to put new nets up to get ready for the boys.
They will, and quickly, I guess we can run through the quick all-tournament team on the West, and it was really all made up, I believe, by all West Springfield and Oakton. For the side of the Spartans, Logan Battle, April Robinson with the honors. On the other side of things, Carly Cronin for Oakton, along with the Coyers, Catherine and Caroline, with Catherine being your tournament MVP. We
went through the scoring for the Oakton Cougars. Let's check the West Springfield Spartans. Lindsay Mayers had a pair. Logan Battle had 13 of those coming in the fourth. Jordan Miller finished with 13. Amy Berglund with 6, and April Robinson finished with 10 for the West Springfield Spartans. As we've said, both these schools have qualified for the Virginia High School League state tournament, which begins next week, and they'll hopefully both these teams will go a long way in that tournament.
And obviously, I think it helps a little bit when you talk about playing in that type of tournament, is that once they've gone to the super sites a few years back, that you're playing at a big venue somewhere, usually somewhere pretty easy to get to. So likely, I believe it'll either be Siegel Center for West Springfield or the William & Mary venue somewhere down, obviously in the south, while Oakton will come back here and play in their matchups. So it's nice. You're not going to maybe a small place, tough to travel to, all those problems. You're kind of going to a venue where it'll be big, it'll be easy to get to, and you're ready to go out and play your best basketball and not worrying about some of the other things, and hopefully maybe getting back and seeing your opponent in today's game later in the tournament.
Trophy presentation continuing out there at center court. You see Mr. Ilyang Moon, who's the vice chairman of the Fairfax County School Board, handing out the awards there. Up next. Don't forget, coming up next is the boys' championship game, Edison Eagles and the Westfield Bulldogs. Matt Fetters, Jeremy Huber, and that should be a real good ball game as well.
Really looking forward to it. Obviously, maybe two surprise teams when you think about it. Obviously, Edison wins their district, but Westfield coming through after losing their championship game knocks off a TC Williams team that had really had a little bit of a down year, but then really made up for it in their district tournament, coming into as a top seed. Westfield knocks them off and ends up getting into this Northern Region Championship game. So really looking forward to that matchup. Should be a very, very good one.
Coach Doug Ewell of the Westfield Bulldogs, very emotional when they got to that semifinal game to get to this championship game. The Bulldogs have been so good year after year, and this is the first time they've gotten to the Northern Region Championship game.
They're really well-deserving the way of the performance they put on this season, and really a team, and that's what Coach Ewell talks about. That's a team. Even though they have Zach O'Connor, a 6'11 player, they got so many pieces to that puzzle that make them such a really good basketball team.
Now the moment the Oakton Cougars have been waiting for, they get to come out and collect their hardware as Northern Region champs. Just a great all-around performance here tonight by these Oakton Cougars. As we said, led by Catherine Coyer with 29 points in this ballgame. 14 of those 29 coming in the fourth period.
And again, I think you have to credit Catherine for having a skill that you don't see as much in girls basketball as you see in boys basketball sometimes, really knowing, hey, I'm going to take this to the bucket and get to the foul line. That's always hidden points. When you go to the foul line, people don't really see it as much, but she put up so many points at the charity stripe tonight simply by going ahead, driving it to the bucket and say, hey, either I'm going to score here or I'm going to make you foul me, and when you do, I'm going to get those extra 2 points at the line.
And how about Coach Freddie Priester? Year after year, his Oakton Cougars are just really the cream of the crop, not only in Northern Virginia, but throughout the whole Washington, D.C. metro area.
And a fantastic team, and really a year after not going into the regional, going into state finals by not getting into the regionals, falling to West Springfield in the regional semis, coming back, getting a little bit of revenge in this game, and going ahead and moving on really in the best possible way to the states as they go ahead and get what will be a virtual home game here at Robinson in the state quarterfinals.
So now as they huddle for the championship photo over there, and then they'll climb the ladder and snip off those nets. One of the greatest traditions in all of sports. You get to take home that net from your championship win. And the Oakton Cougars will be being able to do that in just a minute as they take home the 2012 Northern Region Championship. As the Oakton Cougars cut down the nets, bringing home the Northern Region Championship, let's check in again with Brian Hoffman.
Thanks, guys. I'm here. Chris Coyer, your girls just won a state championship. What's going through your mind right now?
Well, let's knock
me,
on
region.
wood real quick, but just a region championship. But you know, I was saying to people before the game ever started that what happens from here on out, we've been playing with the house money, and they've certainly gotten a lot more than they ever deserved. And whatever happens, happens. But I'm real happy for them.
Next year, your girls taking their talents to Villanova. What's that like to be the father of two girls playing Division I college basketball?
It's been a great ride. Absolutely great ride. I can't complain at all. Most people would give their eye teeth to have one kid that's gone through these sort of things, and I actually have three. So, you know, thank goodness they're better people than I am. Let's put it that way.
In that second half, when Springfield's making a run, what's going through your mind?
Score. Don't turn the ball over. I said the whole time, if we can get to 50, I think we'd be safe because our defense is so good. But it was rough there, especially when Logan Battle started to pour it on and got those and ones, and you're saying, oh, here we go. You know, it was the thrill in Manila. It was the rubber match. So these kids all know each other, and they're out there fighting hard just for bragging rights, and could have gone either way, frankly. Flip a coin. If they play 10 times, they'd each win 5 times probably.
Well, congratulations and good luck in the States.
Thanks.
Back to you guys.
Nice job, Brian. We've got about a little less than 30 minutes to go until the boys' game begins, so stay with us for that, or go away and come on back in about half an hour. It's going to be a good one. Westfield Bulldogs and the Edison Eagles playing for the boys' Northern Region Championship. Come right back here and join us at allmetsports.com.